This is a warts and all version of our Antiques game show, Getting It Right. You'll see behind the scenes as we film the show, the mistakes, the outtakes, the stumbles and the bumbles, just as it was filmed. No editing, apart from, of course, the close-ups of the antique items. This is as real as if you were there. Hope you enjoyed the show. Cheers. Is that over? Did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
I didn't ask another question, but it doesn't matter. I think shorter the better and bang in.
It feels a bit strange me looking this way. It feels over my back to the camera, but is that okay?
That's a good point, David. Good point. Let me have a look, see what you look like.
Oh my god, we're not going to do it again.
No, we won't.
Just have to.
I'm sweating now.
You're in.
Am I? Fine.
You talk there.
Sorry?
Just talk normally.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Alright, yeah.
That's okay.
No, talk abnormally. You know, like you normally do.
How would you like me to talk?
Wendy, would you mind just checking that? Is that camera running?
Yeah.
And is there a blue light on the microphone?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Right. Can't remember the rules, can you?
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Okay, ready, you two? So,
Yep.
Loads of energy. Doesn't matter, you can't get anything wrong.
Okay.
Okay, apart from when you do. All right. Hello and welcome back to Getting It Right. Today's show is coming from an ancient building called Blagraves in Barnard Castle. It's positively dripping in history. We're going to show you three fabulous antiques. Our contestants here have not yet seen them, and neither have I. This is all filmed as it happens. So let's meet today's contestants. First of all, on my left we have Claire. Claire, tell us all about you.
Oh my goodness. I live over the road.
Oh, handy.
And yeah, I'm married to Luke.
Well, there must be more to you, Claire, than that, surely. What do you do for a living?
I'm a photographer.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Maybe you should give us some advice on our filming techniques. It's a little bit rubbish. And what do you do for fun?
Look after my kids.
Ooh.
3 boys.
3 boys? Oh, that's troublesome, isn't it?
It is,
Surely.
yeah.
3.
4 if you count him as well.
Is he the big boy? Yeah. Okay, so married to Luke, you brought your husband.
You did, yeah.
We do like married couples, David, don't we?
It works out very well.
It works out
Provides
very
great
well.
entertainment.
It really does. Because they normally have a massive fallout.
Oh yeah, well that will happen. That'll happen.
So get ready, audience. This will be a laugh. Right. So, Luke, tell us about you.
I'm a restorer of antiques and furniture and paintings.
We don't like knowledge.
We don't like knowledge.
There's no danger of that.
We have yet to have anybody on the show with any knowledge whatsoever.
Right, okay.
So,
That's not going to change.
No pressure.
oh, I don't know. So this is what you do for fun. I mean, I must say, I knew your dad, Bob
Yeah.
Jordan, and I can thank Bob Jordan actually for helping me get into the world of media, or actually blame your dad. Because Bob and I did a radio show 20 odd years ago for local radio, and that's how we got into TV. Sadly, no longer with us, but you've taken after your dad.
Yeah.
You're an antiques dealer. You're a restorer.
Yeah, kind of primarily a restorer, gradually getting into dealing.
Okay, so you're trying to make excuses
Yes,
already.
I am already.
That's what he's doing.
Covering myself already, yeah. No, well, the most part of my wages comes from restoration.
Right.
It's hard to make a living as a trading dealer. Only now you need to have other things.
You do.
So
I think you do.
prioritise the restoration. That's
Right.
my wages. If I can sell something, bonus.
Fantastic. Which is why we make programmes.
Yes.
Brilliant. Now, what do you do for fun?
Play golf. Haven't done that in a while. Not go out with the kids.
Right.
We went to Castle Howard yesterday. That was nice.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
But you love your work.
Yeah.
Work is
our
fun.
Work is our
Obsessed.
passion, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, let's see how good you are then at looking at objects, antiques, and describing them. So I'll explain the rules as we go. Because have you seen the show?
Not yet. No, we purposely didn't watch it.
We thought it'd be a nice surprise.
Yeah. It may not be a nice surprise. Yeah.
A surprise.
So the very first time you watch Getting It Right will be when you're on it.
Yes.
Yeah, I may not watch it when I'm on it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to explain.
We'll see how it goes.
Right, I'll explain as we go. So we're going to introduce now the show's favourite, the glamorous assistant. Glamorous assistant, what do we have as item number 1? Oh, here she comes. Oh, and we will send that to Luke, please. So Luke, I want you to have a look at this object here. And speak as you think. Claire, you can't say a word. Luke, tell us everything you think you know about it. Who made it? Where it was made? When? And when? When and when? I haven't filmed this for a while.
Well, it looks Chinese. It looks 18th century, possibly export Chinese. But it could be I would say it's Chinese export, about 1790.
Okay, what about its condition?
Not too bad. It's not got any cracks. There seems to be a sort of, it's been used, there's a bit of wear on there. It could be later than that, you know.
How do you tell it's in good condition? Just with the eye?
Yeah, mainly with just check if there's any cracks. There is a small chip around the edge there, which would affect it if you were selling it, I guess. But it wouldn't bother me if I was owning it.
Okay, so quick sum up then. What is it?
Chinese export 1790.
So when you say export, you mean made for the European?
Made for the European market rather than made for themselves. So it kind of looks like the 17th century stuff that we loved, but not actually the same stuff.
Okay,
Could
brilliant.
Be way off here.
Okay, well, he's convinced me, David. I don't know about you.
Interesting.
Interesting. Are you making some? Because David's going to award points. You know that,
Right? Okay.
right? Yeah, have you been writing?
No,
He hasn't been writing. Oh dear. Okay. This will be good. Right. Okay. Now over to Claire. Claire, you handle the dish.
Okay.
Luke can't say a word. Tell us, what did Luke get right? What did he get wrong?
Oh my goodness.
And what can you add?
It's blue.
Give her a point for that.
White. Yeah, it's. I think everything you said was right.
God, listen, you're going to try and win some points. So
Okay.
say something different.
Say something different. Oh my goodness, what? The glaze is a little bit not as good. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So you're agreeing with Luke.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Is this
totally
how it
trust-
generally works in
yeah,
your relationship?
I trust everything that he
With
says.
things like this, it
Yeah,
does.
I mean, it's like
But nothing else.
It's
Everything
very,
else,
it's very
no.
pretty. It's yeah, I would like to have it on my wall. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's okay. So you saw
Yeah.
David, they're in agreement, I think.
Yes.
So I think we're going to have to go to Luke first. Tell us exactly what it is and award some points.
It's English. So it's Boar porcelain, imitating Chinese. Those are pseudo Chinese marks on the back of it.
Right.
It's about 1755, 1760. It's a dessert plate, and it's a blue ground, quite characteristic. It's called powder blue. But yeah, English, mid 18th century.
I can see where Luke was going because
Yes.
this was copying the Chinese
That's why I
stuff,
choose it.
which was very expensive, and so the English were trying to make copies of it, cheaper versions of. So I would fall into that trap as well. So award some points. Are there any points?
One each.
How did Claire win a point?
She just copied what Luke said.
You give her a point for that.
Yes.
Thank you. And I said it was blue.
But can I just explain something, Luke, just so you don't feel too badly? David Elstob always has his favourites.
Yeah.
And they're normally female.
That's fine. I don't mind losing to my wife.
So Luke got it bang on with the date.
It was a little bit late. He said
I know, but don't be too
1790.
pedantic. It was in the 18th century.
I just give it the point for just saying it had a
One
chip.
each. One each. Okay, fair enough. Don't worry. This is the valuation round. So now, if you can put the plate down there, please, Claire. You've got 1 point each. Now pick up your card and a pen and write down one valuation. How
Do we
much
include the chip in
You
the
include-
valuation?
As it stands.
as it is? David Elstob is going to sell it in his auction. Yeah. So we're going to go mid-estimate, one valuation. This is where you're going to do really well.
Oh, really?
I can sense it. I can.
Yes.
Okay, one value. See how Luke is hiding his figures from his wife. Can you see that?
He always does that.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Um,
Go on, Claire. Who's rooting for Claire? Got it? Okay, we'll go Luke first. Luke, what is it worth?
I said 60 quid.
60 quid, okay. Right, Claire's going to blow this out of the water.
I said that.
£1,000.
That's how much. I mean, I'm not sure you'd let me hold it. I think that's how much actually.
Listen, we want more Claires in this world. We really do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you mind popping into Elstop and
Please.
Elstop
Yeah,
Auction.
absolutely. I'll value anything.
You
for
can view our sales rather than Luke. I think that would work really well.
Yeah. You might not let me back again.
Okay, here we go, David. What is it worth?
Well, this may come as a surprise.
Go on.
But Luke is the closest.
No! What's it worth?
£120.
120.
If
Okay,
you're buying or if you're selling.
okay, give Luke a point for that. So at the end of round 1, we've got Luke on 2 and Claire on 1. Give him a round of applause. Oh dear. Don't worry, it's all to play for, Claire. Come back for round 2. Right, Wenders, would you mind? Thank you. Do you know what the second object is? Right. Oh, don't get shirts. Right, we all ready? Happy, David?
Yeah.
And welcome back to round 2. Where has the glamorous assistant gone? Oh, she's showing the object to the audience, of course. We forgot about that. We did forget about that.
It's coming around.
Yeah, this might take some time. Okay. Has it been stolen?
Everybody's just looking at it.
Yeah, well, don't, come on. You're not... You can show these two at the front here very quickly. Come on through. Yeah, come on through. Show the three ladies at the front. That's it. Yeah. Okay. And this one to Claire, please.
Right, wow.
There you go, Claire.
Let me
Right. Claire, this is all about you.
All about me.
All about you. Luke cannot get involved. I want you to tell us exactly what you think it is. Just speak as you think.
Okay.
What is it?
A silver bowl.
A silver bowl. Give her a point.
Decorative silver bowl with some beautiful little patterns on.
Okay. When was it made?
I'm not helping. I can't help you, actually.
Oh gosh.
Give it a stab. Not literally.
Yeah. 17th century.
17th century. Okay. And
Yeah.
where was it made?
Let me think. It was made in England.
In England.
Yeah,
Okay. And date-wise, you say 18th century?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Go. And what did she say? What it's made from?
She said 17th century.
Oh, she said 17th century.
I was going with that
Okay.
because I thought you might know that. You might be giving me the answers to it.
No, I don't. It's the very first time I've seen it. Did she say it was made from silver?
Yeah.
She did say
Is
that.
it silver plated? I'll go with that.
Is it silver plated? This is.
I'm going to go silver.
You're going to go silver plated.
Yeah, let's do that.
Has Claire given you enough information, David?
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's all you're getting. There you are.
Okay, so all right, over to Luke. Now, come on, Luke. This is where you're really going to shine. Tell us all about it. What is it?
It's solid silver, I think.
The audience are nodding.
I would say it's late 19th century. Looks a bit arts and craftsy, but maybe not.
Yeah, but you have to actually make a decision.
Yeah, I would say late 19th century. It has got some stamps on the side that hallmarks, which would say it is solid silver, but I can't make them out because they're a bit worn off.
And what about the hallmarks themselves? Are they
There's a
British?
lion's head. I don't think they are British. I would say they're probably continental, like somewhere in Europe maybe.
Okay, so you're saying late 19th century, continental, solid silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that enough information, David?
Yes.
That's very interesting. Okay, hold that thought. Don't say a word because David Elstop is going to tell you all about it.
This is a very rare silver dish. I think it's probably made as a wine taster. So it's English, it's Commonwealth period. So middle of the 17th century, after Charles I.
I knew.
So it's a London hallmark for 1658.
Wow.
Made by Gilbert Shepherd. Just a gorgeous little dish.
Mike, I mean, that is so early and actually ties in nicely here because that's the Cromwellian period. I mean, Cromwell stayed here at Blagraves.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So it's the perfect object for a building like this.
Lovely thing.
Wow, okay.
Rare thing.
Rare thing, my
Never
goodness
seen
me.
anything like it.
No, well, that's because it's rare. Yeah. He gets some rare objects in his auction room, this fella. Right, award some points.
2 to Claire.
2 to Claire.
Yeah.
Explain.
Said England.
Yes,
And she originally said 17th century.
she did.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
right,
let her
okay.
point.
Yeah.
And 1 for Luke because he said silver.
Right, okay, that's very interesting. So 2 for Claire brings Claire onto 3. 1 for Luke brings Luke onto 3. So at the end of round 2...
Haven't done the value.
No, we haven't, have we? And you've never seen the show before. Okay, so far then, we've got Claire on 3 and we've got Luke on 3, but one of them is going to take the lead before the end of round 2 because this is now the valuation round. This will be interesting, David. So, pens and paper... Oh, they're eager. They're eager to go. Okay, write down one valuation. Are you going to sell this?
Yeah.
It's going into auction. Market value today. Are you ready? You're very confident looking.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We'll go Claire first. Shout out.
£800.
£800.
Been keen last time.
I've
Okay.
done £1,500.
1,500. David?
Luke's closer.
Oh.
Value is 3,000.
£3,000. My goodness me. That
I'm not making up
is incredible. £3,000. Wonderful. Which means Luke has taken the lead. Luke is on 4. Claire is on 3. Give him a round of applause. Come back for tea and history. Thank you, Wendy. We haven't missed anything, have we? We're going to do
Amazing
tea and
thing,
history.
that, isn't it?
Absolutely incredible, that.
What this?
Yeah.
When do you think it's done?
Why through that? Because it's solid silver.
No.
Very early.
It's rare.
1650s. It's Commonwealth period.
Yeah. Right, okay, everybody ready? So this is tea and history. Follow my lead. What was the question I was going to ask? Hang on, let me ask you this question. What was the question? I haven't as yet got a question, so you can help me, audience, at the end of this. I'm going to tell a story, then I'm going to ask them a question, but we can cut. Happy, everybody? Right. Welcome back to Tea and History. This is where you at home can settle back, have a cup of tea, listen to a history lesson, as you too can here in Blagraves studio. So get your cups of tea when you're ready. Yeah. Settle back. This is your history lesson, followed by a history question. And I want to talk about the Georgian passion of selling your wife in auction. Yes! Yes! You're looking very interested in this. It is absolutely true. In Britain and America during the 18th and early 19th century and before, but it's quite fashionable popular in those days, to sell one's wife in auction. Now, let me tell you, there are no records, audience, no records whatsoever of any wife ever complaining about being sold in auction. So that tells you something. That tells you that the wives were keen to be sold. And there's a very good reason for that. And it's all to do with divorce. During the 18th and early 19th century, it was exceptionally expensive to get a divorce. Lawyers cost a lot of money. Nothing changes, does it? Do we have any lawyers in the audience?
I work for one.
Oh, you work for one. Well, pass on this story when you get back to work. Lawyers were very expensive, so selling a wife in auction was a way to get around having a divorce. Because if you weren't divorced during this period and your wife or your spouse went off with someone else, you, as a husband, could sue the wife's lover at any point in the future for having marital experiences, relationships with your wife. And if she came into money, you could sue her for money and vice versa. You had to be divorced to sever those links. So a cheap way of doing it was to tie a rope around Claire's wrist. When's market day? Is it Wednesday in Barnard Castle? Yeah. This is what you do. Come back on Wednesday. He'll be there. You go up to the market, Claire, tied to you.
With a lot number on it.
With a lot number. Lot number 1, it's Claire. You get the attention of the shoppers. You gain a crowd, so in other words, witnesses. And you offer Claire for sale for public auction. It makes no difference whether anyone bids or not. I'm sure that you'd get loads of bids. You would get lots of bids.
Would
right?
I?
Some women didn't get any bids at all. There's another story there, right? As long as you offer Claire for sale publicly, it would mean that you're not divorced, but it would protect you in the future against any lawsuits. Because if Claire came to you in years to come when you made your fortune and said, he's my husband, because strictly speaking you're still married, I'm going to sue him, and she takes you to court, the judge, even though selling your wife in auction was illegal, they turned a blind eye to it, and you would bring in witnesses and say, look, I sold my wife in auction. The witnesses would say, yes, he did. The judge would throw it out. So it's a cheap way of getting an effective divorce. Now, is that of interest to you?
Not yet.
I was going to say yes.
There you go. Well, you can always keep it up your sleeve.
Yeah.
So there you go, an interesting history lesson. Here comes your history question. And I haven't got it yet. So, do we have a history question?
Is it?
I'd say again, went,
No, sorry. Was it something you've already said?
No, I'll do this. I talked about the Georgian period. This selling wives in auction has been going on, had been going on for a very long time. But during the Georgian period, it was particularly popular. Mm-hmm. So my question to you is this. When was the Georgian period? One date to another date. Are you ready for it? Write your answers down on your cards. Let me know at home if you get this right. I'll give you a clue. They'll know this. It's a very big period. 4 Georges make up the Georgian period. Lasted a very long time. A long period. Don't be copying. There will be a divorce going on here by the end of the day. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we'll go Claire first. Claire, read it out.
1700 to 1800?
1700 to 1800. Luke?
1714 to 1830.
Give him a round of applause. Bang on!
I'm impressed that I knew that.
1714 to 1830. Congratulations, Luke. I knew you would get that. Mr. History there. So a point for Luke, which means Luke is on 5 and Claire is languishing behind on 3. Luke is romping ahead. Come back for round 3. Right, good. Wait, please, Wendy. Have we missed anything? No. This is round 3, and I've got to tell you, this is my favourite round of all, because this is the David Elstob I'm an Antiques Expert round. It's all about Elstob and Elstob. Come on, glamorous assistant, what do we have? And this is to go to both of them, please.
Okay.
Now, grab a hold of that. In this round, you're effectively working together. You don't say a word. You just examine the object. And let me see it as well, Luke. Have a good look at it while David Elstob, the antiques expert, tells us all about it.
It is a novelty horse and jockey diamond and enamel brooch. Now, these novelty brooches were very popular in the Victorian period. We see a lot of animals and novelty jewellery. I don't think this one is Victorian, because if we look at the rose-cut stones, the rose-cut diamonds on it, they're very uniform. So I think it might be a 20th century one. But nevertheless, it's gorgeous quality. And anything novelty silver, novelty jewellery is very popular. And horse racing is always a great subject. So I would like from you a valuation, please.
Valuation. Let me just get a good old look at him there. He's very good looking, isn't he, I must say. What kind of market, David, is it? Who would buy this, would you say?
Somebody who likes horses, somebody who likes horse racing. It would appeal to private buyers, but also the trade would view it as very good stock to have as well.
It's a cracking thing. Okay, a beautiful quality thing. Where was it made?
It's quality. I don't know, probably London made.
Okay, probably London made. Okay, very interesting. So, you've had a good examine of it. This is your chance, Claire, to claw back some points. What is it worth? If you can put it down, Luke. Mm-hmm. Pick up your card and your pen. and write down one figure. I think they're going to be a million. I don't know. The first time I've seen it, I think they're going to be a million miles out with this.
I think they might be quite good on this.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, Claire. Got your figure?
Yep.
Okay. Luke, are you ready?
Yeah,
Okay. We'll go Luke first.
I've just gone for it and said £2.5 grand.
£2,500, £2,500. Oh, he's got a bit of a smirk on his face. Claire?
Exactly the same.
How does that work? 2,500, David?
Bloody good.
Really?
Yeah. 3,000.
Oh, give them both a round of applause. Well done, you two. Give them, oh, well, I suppose we just give them a point each then.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we've got Luke on 6 and we've got Claire on 4. So today's winner, give him a round of applause, is Luke Jordan.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Come back soon. Cheerio. Say goodbye.
Bye for now.
Bye.